In 2018, a small gambling study discovered something strange. Players who received random, unpredictable rewards showed more addictive behavior than those who could calculate odds. The unpredictability itself was the hook, not the winnings, not the game, the uncertainty. YouTube learned this lesson well. Every algorithm update announcement isn't information. It's intermittent reinforcement, disguised as transparency, and you're the one pulling the lever. I know what you did the last time YouTube announced an update. You probably watched 12 videos trying to decode what changed. Maybe you pivoted your content strategy. Maybe you panicked about whether your niche was dead. Here's what actually happened. YouTube kept you engaged with the platform by making you uncertain about the platform, and it works because what casinos discovered about human behavior, YouTube engineered into creator psychology. Let me guess your last 3 months. YouTube announces something vague about improving recommendations. Your views dip slightly, probably normal fluctuation, but the timing makes you suspicious. So you start researching, you watch videos from creators who claim they cracked the new algorithm. You see conflicting advice. Make longer videos, no wait, make shorter videos, focus on shorts. No shorts are dead, thumbnails matter more now, titles matter more now. You pick a strategy, you commit for 2 weeks, your views stay flat. Meanwhile, some random creator in your niche blows up. They must know something you don't, so you watch their videos, trying to reverse engineer their success. You adjust again. 3 months later, you've changed your upload schedule twice, your thumbnail style 3 times, your content format once, and your niche positioning is starting to feel incoherent. You're exhausted. You can't commit to any long-term strategy because what if the algorithm changes again next month? Here's the cost you're not counting. Every hour you spend trying to decode algorithm updates is an hour you're not spending making better content. Every pivot burns your channel's identity a little more. Every reaction to an announcement trains you to see yourself as powerless. And the worst part, you're not even reacting to the algorithm. You're reacting to other creators reacting to the algorithm. It's a giant game of telephone where nobody actually knows what was said. So let me tell you what's really happening. YouTube benefits when you're uncertain. Not because they're evil, because uncertainty keeps you engaged. Think about it. If you fully understood the algorithm, you'd optimize once and check in monthly. But if you're constantly worried something changed, you're on the platform daily, researching, posting, engaging, checking studio. More creator activity means more content. More content means more inventory for ads. More competition between creators means higher quality on average. Uncertainty isn't a bug in YouTube's communication strategy. It's the entire strategy. Here's the shift. Every algorithm update announcement is actually a behavioral nudge. They're not telling you what changed. They're reminding you that change is possible. And that reminder makes you adjust your behavior. But here's what makes this really interesting. Most of the time, nothing meaningfully changed at all. I tracked this. Over 2 years, I documented 50 times the creator community went into panic mode about algorithm changes. I tracked my own channel performance before and after. I looked for correlations between announcements and distribution patterns. Want to know what I found? Two of those 50 changes correlated with any measurable shift in how my videos were distributed. 2. The other 48? Noise. Random fluctuation that creators pattern matched into causation because the timing aligned with an announcement. You know what happened on those 48 non-changes? Some creators saw views go up. They credited the new algorithm and made videos about what they did right. Other creators saw views go down. They blamed the algorithm and made videos about what went wrong. Both groups were just experiencing normal variance. But because YouTube planted the seed of something changed, everyone found evidence to support it. This is called confirmation bias. And YouTube's update announcements are perfectly designed to trigger it. So how do you build a channel strategy that survives this? You focus on what I call the unchangeables. These are the three factors that determine video distribution, regardless of what YouTube announces, changes, or optimizes for. They're based on how human psychology works, not how algorithms work. And human psychology doesn't get monthly updates. Unchangeable 1, curiosity and value. People click on videos because they're curious. They watch videos because they get value. This has never changed. It will never change. Every thumbnail strategy, every title formula, every hook technique, they all work or fail based on whether they create genuine curiosity and deliver actual value. YouTube can adjust how it measures engagement. It can change what metrics it prioritizes, but it can't make people click on boring promises or watch useless content. So if you optimize for making people genuinely curious and actually helping them, you're optimizing for something no algorithm update can touch. Ask yourself, is my content curious? Does the thumbnail make someone's brain itch to know more? Not clickbait, curiosity. There's a difference. Clickbait promises what it won't deliver. Curiosity promises what it will deliver, but makes you want to know how. And value. Are you actually helping, entertaining, or changing how someone thinks? Or are you just making content because the algorithm rewards consistency? Because here's a secret. The algorithm rewards good, consistent content. Bad, consistent content just fails consistently. Unchangeable. 2. Session time optimization. Here's what YouTube actually cares about and has cared about for years, keeping people on the platform. That's it. That's the whole game. Every algorithmic change is just a different attempt to solve that one problem. So instead of trying to guess which content format YouTube prefers this month, ask what makes someone want to watch another video after mine. This is why creator drama channels grow so fast. Not because they cracked anything, because watching one drama video makes you curious about 3 more. It's why tutorial channels in active hobbies do well. Solving one problem surfaces 5 more questions. It's why commentary channels work. Good commentary makes you want more perspectives. You don't need to know how the recommendation algorithm works. You need to understand what makes your viewer want to stay on YouTube after your video ends. That drives everything. Practical application. What video do most of your viewers watch next? Look at your traffic sources in Studio, specifically the suggested videos section. What are people clicking on after yours? Is it your video, a competitor's video, or completely different content? If it's your content, you're building session time, keep doing what you're doing. If it's a competitor, you're creating curiosity but not satisfaction. Your content is a gateway to someone else's value. If it's random, you're making one-off content that doesn't connect to anything. You're renting attention, not building it. Unchangeable. 3, pattern overreaction. Here's the real algorithm hack, and it's going to sound boring. Test things systematically and give them time to work. I know a creator who ignored 8 algorithm update announcements. 8. While everyone else pivoted and panicked, he just kept making the same style of content, testing small variations, tracking what worked, building on success. He went from 50K subscribers to 300K in that period, not because he was lucky, not because the algorithm rewarded his consistency, but because while everyone else was reacting to noise, he was building signal. He had 18 months of clean data about what his audience actually wanted. His competitors had 18 months of random pivots. When you react to every announcement, you destroy your own data. You can't tell what's working because you keep changing the variables. So here's the practice. Pick 3 things to test this quarter, not 47 things, 3. Test them properly, at least 6 to 8 videos per variable so you have actual data. Track the results. Keep what works, drop what doesn't. Ignore every algorithm announcement during that testing period. Just note it existed and keep going. After the quarter, look at your results. Did the announcement correlate with any change in your performance? Probably not. But now you have something more valuable than a reaction to YouTube's announcement. You have actual data about what your audience responds to. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. 2 years ago, I decided to document something. What happens when you ignore algorithm panic? I tracked 50 instances where the creator community went into update mode, forum posts, videos, tweets, the whole cycle. Each time I noted the date, the claimed change, and the advice being shared. Then I tracked my channel, views, click-through rate, average view duration, subscriber growth, not just top-level numbers, patterns. What happened the week before the announcement? The week after? 4 weeks after? Here's what I found. 48 out of 50 times, nothing changed in any measurable way. My views fluctuated, sure, they always fluctuate. Some videos did better than expected, some did worse. But there was zero correlation between YouTube's announcements and my channel's performance, zero. The 2 times something did correlate, both were related to shorts. Once when shorts first rolled out and got aggressive promotion, once when they adjusted how shorts fed into long-form recommendations. Those were real measurable changes. Everything else? Noise that creators interpreted as signal because YouTube primed them to look for patterns. But here's what's really interesting. During those 2 years, I grew 140%, not because I figured out the algorithm, because I focused on the unchangeables. I made videos that made people curious. I structured content to drive session time. I tested systematically instead of reacting chaotically. And I watched creators with bigger channels than mine panic their way into stagnation. They'd pivot to shorts because that's what the algorithm wants now. Views would tank because their audience didn't want shorts. They wanted the long-form content they subscribed for, so they'd pivot back, then pivot again when the next announcement dropped. Meanwhile, I just kept making better versions of what already worked. This isn't a brag, it's a pattern. The creators who survive long-term aren't the ones who decode updates. They're the ones who build on fundamentals the updates can't touch. Remember that gambling study from the beginning? Random rewards create addiction. Predictable rewards don't. YouTube knows this. Every vague announcement about improving recommendations is another pull of the slot machine. You don't know what changed. You don't know if it affects you, but you'll keep pulling the lever, posting, testing, reacting, because maybe this time you'll hit the jackpot. But here's what they don't tell you. The house always wins. As long as you're playing the game of guess the algorithm, you're playing a game YouTube designed. And they designed it so you can't win. Because winning would mean you stop engaging. So here's your actual competitive advantage. Stop playing. YouTube wants you confused about the algorithm. Your job is to be certain about your strategy, certain about what creates curiosity, certain about how to build session time, certain about your testing process. The algorithm changes constantly. Human psychology doesn't. So here's what I want you to do. Identify your 3 unchangeables, not YouTube's, yours. What makes your audience click? What makes them watch? What makes them want more? Write those down. Build your next 20 videos around those fundamentals. And the next time YouTube announces an update, just note it existed and keep building. Because while everyone else is frantically trying to decode the change, you'll be 6 months ahead with actual data about what works. The algorithm is optimized for YouTube's goals. Your strategy should be optimized for yours. And I promise you, those 2 things are not the same. But here's what most creators miss while chasing algorithm updates. The real damage isn't to your channel, it's to your nervous system. The 5 physical signals that show you're about to burn out, they're already there. You're just calling them not working hard enough. That breakdown's on screen.